Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, your integration buddy. My name is Vikas and I am working as a technical architect at Infosys. In today's tutorial, I am going to introduce you to latest AI offering by MuleSoft Vibes, which was earlier known as MuleSoft Dev Agent. In this session, we will cover what is MuleSoft Vibes, its capabilities, its architecture, and its setup. But before we dive into MuleSoft Vibes, let's first understand the concept of vibe coding. Vibe coding term was coined by Andrich Kanpathy, who is one of the co-founders of OpenAI, and it essentially means a moving away from the traditional coding to an intent-driven AI-assisted way of coding the solutions. So once we grasp how vibe coding works, like how we describe the intent, collaborate with AI, refining iteratively, we will see how MuleSoft Vibes applies these principles to API design, development, and operations. So the very first principle in vibe coding is describing your intent. So vibe coding starts with intent and not syntax. Instead of thinking in terms of functions, classes, or flows, you simply express what you want to build, why you want to build, and for whom you want to build. So instead of writing the code, you simply describe the destination, and AI would chart the route to get you to that destination. Okay. The second principle is from idea to execution. So here you start with the high level idea, and the AI would generate the architecture for you, create the specifications for you, design the flows for you, produce data mappings for you, it would suggest API policies for you, and generate the code for you. So here in vibe coding, we will use AI as a collaborator, okay, and not as a tool, basically. Okay. So here in vibe coding, AI is your architect, your reviewer, your co-developer, your designer, and your navigator. So you don't instruct it. Instead, you collaborate with it. It's a conversation, not a command, basically. Okay. The next principle is the iterative refinement. So iterative refinement in vibe coding essentially is the process of progressively improving the code by making small incremental changes based on the feedback and testing. Then we have the accessibility. So here the vibe coding removes the barriers between architects, developers, testers, product owners, and business SMEs. Everyone can participate in the solution creation because simply it's conversational, it's visual, it's guided, and it's explainable. Okay, and the last thing, it requires no deep coding skill to get started. Funda is simple. If you can describe it, you can build it. Simple. And then we have speed and creativity as other part of vibe coding. So speed is the most visible impact of vibe coding because everything is accelerated, be it architecture generation, be it API specification generation, be it code scaffolding, be it document generation, testing scripts. So what usually takes like a few weeks, it can shrink it to few days. Okay. And for creativity also, like, okay, so AI shows the options that we might not have considered, like it becomes easier to explore patterns, simulate outcomes, and visualize alternatives. Okay. So here are some examples of vibe coding. So here I can give the vibe, like write a function like a senior engineer, clean, modular, well structured, and AI output vibe will be its small focused functions, clear namings, separation of concerns, and comments only where it's needed. So it will provide me the output like thinking that a senior engineer is writing that function. Then another vibe I can give is like rewrite this to be a production ready, robust, defensive, well tested, and it will provide me the output of which will be having error handling, input validation, logging, as well as the test cases. Then I can give a vibe saying that add comments like you are teaching a beginner, slowly, clearly, and step by step. And I would give an up. I will have an output which will be having friendly comments, simple variable names, clear logic flow, which can easily be understood by a beginner. And lastly, like I can provide a vibe saying that give this project as an open source vibe, clean structure, docs with examples, and it I will get the output as a README file with examples folder and a modular structure of the project. Okay, so then I have tried to explain the difference between the prompt engineering, context engineering, and vibe coding. Okay, so here in the first example, in the prompt engineering, I just provide an input saying that add an error handling using try or accept block only. Out in the output, I will get only the try and accept block added. In the context engineering, I'll provide a context, okay, how this error handling was done earlier in one of the projects, okay, and I will give a prompt saying that add error handling to this new project. So the new project will have the error handling similar to the one which was done earlier in the other projects with okay. And then in the vibe coding, I will just say make this error handling robust and production ready, and I will get an output of with the all the validations logging and the clear messages. Okay. A next example is like in prompt engineering, I can ask, okay, refactor this code into three functions. Okay, in the output, I will get exactly three functions. In the context engineering, I'll provide examples of the refactoring which has already been done on some other projects. Okay, and I'll provide the prompt. Okay, refactor this code. So in the output, I will get the project refactoring done in the same way as it was done in the other projects whom context I have provided. In the vibe coding, I can just say that refactor this like a senior engineer, clean, modular, readable, and in the output, I will get a well-structured, meaningful functions. More examples. Suppose for MuleSoft, I give a prompt saying that create a mule flow with http listener and logger, no other components. Okay, in the output, I will be having a basic flow with exactly two components, only listener and logger. So it shows an instruction driven prompt engineering. Okay, and then in the context engineering, I'll say that, okay, I provide a context of the existing project structure and the naming convention, and I'll provide a prompt saying that add a new http flow. So the new flow would match with the project naming and error handling structure I have provided in the context. So it shows that context ensures a consistency. Okay, and then in the vibe coding, I'll just say that design a clean, production ready mule flow, proper error handling, logging, and clear naming. So in the output, I will get a listener, a logger, error handler, transform, and consistent naming. So vibes shapes the quality and the architecture. So here you just present your intent. So the intent is understood by the AI, and it will provide the output based on the intent you have provided. Okay. So now it's time to introduce you to the MuleSoft Vibes. So MuleSoft Vibes or MuleSoft Dev Agent is a purpose-built assistant for the development lifecycle, and it is available directly in Anypoint Code Builder. Okay, so it enables you to build, you deploy, and manage your projects using natural language prompts. Okay, so it integrates with the MuleSoft MCP server, which provides a set of agentic tools that connect the MuleSoft Dev Agent directly to your MuleSoft environment. So through this integration, the MuleSoft Dev Agent can perform actions and retrieve data on your behalf. So it has enables the capabilities such as developing API specifications, creating and configuration applications, creating agent networks, searching for assets, deploying and managing instances, securing your applications. Okay, and so here for the design part, like in MuleSoft Vibes, you just design becomes more conversational, okay, adaptive and AI guided. I just describe the business capability, the systems involved, the functional and non-functional needs, and the performance expectations. And MuleSoft Vibes will be able to generate the API layers, architecture recommendation like it will be sync, async, RAML specs, sequence diagrams, payload models, etc. Okay, and then in the develop phase we can just build through conversations and not a boilerplate. So developers move away from building manually to building by describing intent. So I can just say that create a mule flow that fetches the order details from SAP system and load them to Salesforce. and AI would generate Mule XML flows with me for me, with mappings in data wave, error handling, logging, and caching framework. Okay, so AI does the heavy lifting, and developers focus on decisions and not the boilerplate. And then you can use the MuleSoft Vibes or MuleSoft Dev Agent to manage your MuleSoft environment. You can get insight into your code base, performance, and reuse opportunities. And lastly, it can will help in the operations part as well. You can monitor the MuleSoft environment's health, troubleshoot issues, and optimize your deployments. So in a nutshell, the MuleSoft vibes elevate your productivity. Okay, so architects design faster, developers avoid boilerplate work, testers auto generate the test cases. Okay, ops teams get predictive insights, and product owners get faster deliveries. Okay, so every role becomes more efficient with MuleSoft vibes. Then it delivers faster. So okay, it compresses the week's works into days works. Okay, by blending the conversational AI and enterprise knowledge. Then last but not the least, it eliminates the development guesswork as well. So decisions become data driven. Okay, so which pattern to use? Okay, what the best practices to use? How to size the workers? What mappings to use? Okay, which APIs to reuse? What policies to apply? Okay, what changes are safe? Okay, so teams just stop guessing this, just start deciding with confidence. Okay, so, what can be the use cases of MuleSoft Vibes? So, whether you are kickstarting a new project, you describe your API in plain language, and Vibes will generate the specs, flows, and policies in minutes. Okay, you can optimize existing projects, ask MuleSoft Vibes for usage data, performance insights, and recommendations. And then lastly, you can use MuleSoft Vibes to scale your MuleSoft applications, apply the policies, and inform compliance through simple prompts. So here, MuleSoft, as I told, MuleSoft Vibes can be used across all the roles. For admins, they can use it to find and publish the assets, reuse the metrics, create and apply policies. The architects can use them to create the blueprints, optimize architecture of the existing APIs, configure the archetypes. Developers can use them to generate the API specifications, generate ambient test cases, and test the MCP servers. And the operations team can use it to deploy and test the APIs, get the platform insights, and troubleshoot the issues. So, what are the key capabilities of MuleSoft Vibes? So, MuleSoft Vibes come with pre-configured out of the box MCP tools. Okay, so no manual setup needed, no wiring of endpoints. As soon as you install any point code builder, Vibes is ready to create Mule projects, generate flows for you, and apply the enterprise standards automatically. Okay, and then second is the plan versus act modes. So we can choose how MuleSoft Vibes work. In plan mode, Vibes draft a detailed step-by-step plan before making changes. And act mode, MuleSoft Vibes executes a task immediately. So this flexibility means that you can review before acting or move fast when you need to. Then there are global and workspace rules. So we can set the global rules for organization-wide standards like naming conventions or auto-approve policies, or define workspace-specific rules for specialized projects. Then there is auto-approve settings. Okay, so here we can approve the save commands instantly. We can enable auto approve globally, allow only read only or edit access. Okay, limit approvals for the save commands. Okay, or cap the request with the configuration limit. Then last but not the least, Vibes remember your conversations and tracks the context. Okay, so Vibes tracks show the context window size and show the progress bar, so you know how much memory is left. When the context is full, it automatically starts a new task to avoid losing the important information. So next come the architecture of MuleSoft Vibes. At the core of the Vibes is the Inference Graph Execution Service (IGES), okay, which is a multi-stage pipeline designed to consistently produce valid and correct mule artifacts. Okay, So what this pipeline does, so it combines the grounding, the validation, the error correction, and rigorous evaluation to deliver the production quality outputs. So the internal testing published by MuleSoft shows 90% validity and 80% correctness achieved through the IGES pipelines as compared to the other LLM models. Okay. So let us take an example of when you want to generate mule flows. Okay. So what actually happens? So at the very first stage, the LLM analyzes the current prompt and the user's prior messages to create a summarized prompt. Okay. That summarized prompt will capture the user intent and conversation history. Okay, and that summarized prompt will improve the accuracy of subsequent data retrieval and mule XML code generation steps. The next step comes the flow semantic retrieval from a vector database. Okay, so what happens, like after taking the summarized prompt, a semantic search is performed from the vector database. Okay, the vector database contains around 200 plus connectors, around 7,000 plus connector operations, and 7,000 plus sample code snippets. So it retrieves the most relevant connectors, their operations, and code examples. Okay. Next step is the flow generation now. So this is the core step of the IGES pipeline. So this step leverages the Einstein LLM model to generate the XML code, okay, based on the context and the examples which we have provided. Okay, and then the last steps will be of the post processing and validation to ensure that the code is syntactically correct, okay, and valid connector operations are used. Okay, so if you want to read more about the MuleSoft Vibes architecture, you can go through this official MuleSoft documentation. I'll publish this link in my videos description as well. Okay, so now coming on to the last section of our topic, the setting up of MuleSoft Dev Agent or MuleSoft Vibes. So these are the steps that we need to follow to set up MuleSoft Dev Agent. Okay. First step is assigning the permission in MuleSoft Anypoint platform. Okay, so I go to Access Management. Okay, here I need to have this permission of Developer Generative AI User. So here I'll just click on my user. Okay, it's just timed out. I'm just signing in again. Okay, so go to users, my user Vikas Sharma, add permissions. I just search for AI, select this user, next. Yep, this is the business group, add permission. Okay, then the next step is that go to access management, Salesforce, enable Einstein for any point platform. Okay, access management, we have Salesforce. Okay, enable agent force for any point platform. I'll just accept it. Okay, accept the terms and conditions, accept. Okay, next step is that go to access management Salesforce and add the org. Okay, so we have this option of adding the org. Okay, so when I click here, it's asking for to get the Salesforce org tenant key. How do I get it? How do I get that Salesforce org tenant key? Okay, so here I have mentioned in the Salesforce, I go to quick find and go to MuleSoft Anypoint Platform Setup, and from there I would be able to get this tenant key. So this is my Salesforce developer login. So I have just searched for this Anypoint Platform Setup. Okay, in the quick find. So is Anypoint Platform Setup. Go here, complete the connection. Here you will get the Salesforce org tenant key. Copy it. Okay, paste it over here. Add. Okay, so you can just say that what is the name used in endpoint platform. I can just mention my name. Okay, add. Okay, so this is a endpoint platform org key. You just copy it. Okay, go here and paste in paste here. Okay, and just click on connect. Okay, the MuleSoft connection was created successfully. You see over here. So it is now Salesforce org is connected to MuleSoft Anypoint platform. Okay, just close it. Okay, you see over here Anypoint enhance Anypoint platform with Agent 4. So it is enabled in Anypoint platform and disabled in Salesforce. So I'll just refresh this page. Okay, and now you just enable here as well in Salesforce. Okay, and now if I go back to Anypoint platform and refresh this page, you see now it's enabled in Salesforce as well. So same steps I have captured in this diagram. Okay, so you can follow this diagram step by step to enable the MuleSoft Dev agent. Okay, so now the setup is complete, and now we just go to VS Code. So here you just download the Anypoint extension pack. Okay, and after downloading it, you will get an option to log into Anypoint platform. Just click over here, allow, open. You just want me to log into Anypoint platform. Okay, open. Okay, so see it's logged into my Anypoint platform. Okay, and you see over here MuleSoft Dev agent is enabled for you. It's set up for you to use. Okay, that's pretty much I wanted to cover in this session, guys.